Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something, well, pretty out there. It's a truly radical new vision of the cosmos, laid out in a series of papers by an author named Umair Abbas Siddiqui. He calls it the general theory of spin, and believe me, it tries to rebuild our understanding of the universe from scratch.
All right, so first, let's get into the problem this theory is trying to fix. The author basically says that for all its amazing successes, modern physics, relativity, quantum mechanics, it's like this gorgeous, massive building with some serious cracks in the foundation. And the big issue? He says it's our reliance on these really abstract, non-physical ideas, things like curved spacetime or forces that act magically at a distance. These things, he argues, have led us into a corner full of paradoxes and dead ends.
So this situation, according to the theory, puts us at a major crossroads, right? Do we just keep piling on more and more complex ideas, trying to patch up those cracks with even more abstract math? Or is there another way? Could we go back to basics, find some fundamental clarity, and build a whole new model that's simpler and actually makes intuitive sense? That's the big question this theory is throwing down.
And the answer it proposes? Well, it's this totally radical alternative called the general theory of spin. It's not about patching things up, nope. It's about tearing the old building down and starting over with a brand new foundation. And get this, it's all built on a single core idea. The theory suggests that everything, and I mean everything, in the entire universe can be explained by just one fundamental property. Okay, so it's super important we get on the same page about what this theory means by spin. We're not talking about the quantum number you learned about in physics class. No. In this theory, spin is the inherent, built-in angular velocity of, well, everything. All matter and even the space it's in. This single property, this idea of spin, is the one and only building block for all of reality. And this is where things get really wild. The theory completely redefines space itself. It argues that space isn't an empty vacuum at all. Instead, it says the whole universe is filled with stationary photons, making up a kind of material medium. And what we think of as matter, that's just a spot in the medium where the photons are packed together more densely. So think about that. Space and matter are made of the exact same stuff. The only real difference is their density and how that affects their spin. So you can probably see where this is going. This is a direct shot at Einstein. The theory just throws relativistic space-time right out the window. It says, nope, space and time are absolute. They're just rulers we use to measure things, not some physical fabric that can be bent or stretched. So what about curved space and gravitational lensing? The theory re-explains it. It's not curved space. It's just a mathematical trick we invented to describe what's really happening. Light bending or refracting as it travels through that dense medium of photons. Okay, so we've got our new foundation, right? Absolute space and time, and spin as the one rule to rule them all. Now let's see how this completely flips the script on the universe's most fundamental forces. This chart lays it out perfectly. Look at the differences. Standard physics says gravity is mass curving spacetime. Spin theory? Nope, it's a push force, a kind of pressure. What about dark matter? It's not some mysterious stuff we can't find. The theory says it's basically an optical illusion caused by stars getting blocked from our view periodically. And the expansion of the universe, the Hubble effect? Also an illusion, caused by the whole universe just rotating. You see the pattern here? Every abstract idea gets replaced by a simple mechanical explanation. And this really gets to the core of how this universe is supposed to work. The theory hates the idea of spooky action at a distance. It says everything is a contact force. Gravity isn't some mysterious pull, it's a literal push, a constant environmental pressure squishing things together. And inertia? It's not some property objects just have. It's the drag an object feels from its own radiation field when you try to speed it up. It's a universe of pushes and resistance. That's it. And it doesn't stop there. The theory takes on light itself. It claims light isn't a bunch of particles zipping through space. Instead, it's more like a wave of energy passing through that medium of stationary photons. Think of a Newton's cradle, those desk toys with the metal balls. One ball hits, and the energy travels instantly to the other side. Now here's the really mind-bending part. If that energy transfer is instantaneous, it means we're not looking back in time when we see a distant star. It means we're seeing the entire universe in real time, right now. Just let that sink in for a second. But the theory doesn't just stay out in deep space. The author tries to bring these massive ideas right down to Earth. The argument is, if everything at its core is about spin and vibration, then maybe frequency and resonance are super important forces on every scale. We're talking from the tiniest molecules all the way up to human society. And this leads to something called the transductive hypothesis. It's basically asking a huge question. Can this one big idea, resonance, apply to more than just stars and galaxies? Could it be the link that connects the physics of the entire universe to the physics of our own world, right here and now? So, to back this up, the author points to this really curious experiment. It all has to do with this one number, 20.3 hertz. Apparently, if you vibrate a water filter at that exact frequency, its efficiency goes way up. The theory says, hey, that's not a coincidence. It's a molecular resonance effect. It's a hint that, just like the cosmos might be governed by spin, the world of molecules can be tweaked and controlled by hitting just the right frequency. And this idea just keeps scaling up. The hypothesis suggests that maybe our own biology and even our social structures can be fine-tuned with the right frequencies. Think about it. Could rhythmic sounds actually sync up our brainwaves? Could certain frequencies change how molecules interact? Could shared rhythms literally get a group of people in sync, making them cooperate better? It's a pretty wild thought. All right, so where does all this lead? Well, the theory doesn't just stop at explaining things. It culminates in some seriously provocative predictions about technology, and even a whole new mission for humanity. Okay, check this out. One of the biggest predictions is a totally new way to travel, which the author literally calls the flying saucer principle. This isn't just sci-fi, it's supposed to be a direct application of the theory. The idea is, if you can generate a really powerful directional spin field, you could basically create an updraft that pushes against the downdraft of gravity's pressure. And what happens then? You levitate. And this all builds to a pretty grand new purpose for all of us. You see, in this model, the universe is stuck in a forever loop of creation and destruction. So the theory sets up this ultimate existential challenge. Could a civilization like ours get advanced enough to actually transform the universe, to literally stop that cosmic cycle in its tracks, and by doing that, guarantee our own survival? Forever. So at the end of the day, what we have here is a vision of a universe that's completely mechanical, absolute, and predictable. The general theory of spin is basically asking us to question everything we think we know about physics. It forces us to wonder, is this the key to a whole new era of science, a path back to clarity? Or is it just a really clever, beautifully designed dead end? That's the big question this theory leaves on the table for all of us.